Hello everyone, it's Mike and Marnel for another Monday Mortgage Talk. Today we're going to touch upon refis. I think right now it's an absolute goldmine for some people out there, specifically for people that closed maybe just 2 years ago on an FHA product when the bond was much higher, when interest rates were much higher. That you have an opportunity where you could potentially save $400-$500 on your monthly payment by taking out the PMI and lowering your rate. So, if you're one of those people right now who closed 2 years ago when the market was very, very high, this might be a great opportunity for you to save a lot of money on your monthly payments. So, like I said, guys, it's a gold mine.
I definitely think so because look, there are different things that you can do, right? If you bought into an FHA mortgage, you can take out the PMI, as in Mike said, by going to a conventional loan. If you are in an FHA mortgage and unable to get out of it, and you must stay with FHA, there are FHA streamlined programs that allow you to do a streamlined refinance, FHA to FHA, no income documentation, no appraisal needed, and you just take where you were at before, lower your monthly rate or your monthly payment as well, and move on to the next one without losing any sort of or adding, my apologies, to the balance of your mortgage. So it's a great time to kind of look into things like that because the options are definitely out there. There are ways that you can manipulate the mortgage that you have to benefit you.
And Marnel, I don't know about you, but sometimes people do have a home run in front of them. I explain them all the numbers, but they're still a little bit skeptical. A lot of the things that I hear is, well, Mike, why would I refi again? I'm going to be paying closing costs all over again because closing costs will always happen every time you take a loan out. So what I say to them is, listen, if you were at a point, we're going to be the first ones to tell you if a refinance isn't beneficial for you.
Sure.
I'm never going to put somebody in a refinance if it doesn't make sense for you. But if you're a person, like I said, in a scenario where you only closed 2 years ago, well, you still have another 28 years to go. You didn't even pay down your principal at all. If you looked at the day you closed and the debt you closed out into your mortgage statement right now, after 2 years, you'll realize, wow, like maybe my principal only went down $2,000.
Right.
So you didn't even crack a dent. I wouldn't say it's you necessarily starting over. And if you are that individual who would be saving $400-$500 a month and your closing cost, or let's just say high estimate, $18,000-$20,000, you're making that money back in year two.
Absolutely.
Year 2, year 3, and the rest of the 27 years is all profit, money in your pocket.
Guys, traditionally, at some point in time, you will refinance that mortgage for, better terms or whatever it might be. So why not do it inside of the first few years so you never have to worry about doing it again?
If you had 10 years left, I wouldn't say do another 30 year again.
Right. And again, it's all in perspective to what makes sense to you. So if, like Mike says, if you're in a pinch and need to extend it, that might be a reason why you need to go from, let's say, a 15-year to a 20-year or vice versa. But there are different things that you can do to utilize the fact that you just started this mortgage. At that particular time, a year, 2 years later, is the perfect time for you to look into what your options are and how you can get the best benefit from it. Because $400 over the course of 30 years following, think about what that looks like at the end of your mortgage payment, right? How much money did you save by saving that extra $400 a month? For some people, that's a big difference for sure.
We can't stress enough. We're looking at overall expenses when we're doing a refinance for you. I show people not even just their mortgage expense. I've shown people that, listen, you have 15 cards opened, and just your minimum payment, let's say it was $25 a month, your minimum payment alone between your leases and cards that you have open, you probably don't even realize you're paying $1,200 a month in just minimum credit liabilities.
Sometimes more.
Sometimes much more. I've seen a way
Sometimes
higher,
more.
Credit expenses a month. So when you take out a loan, a cash out loan, and do like a debt consolidation, maybe your monthly payment is a tad bit higher or the same or $100 higher, but you have to factor in that you just started from square one again with credit. You don't have any of the credit cards open, all your balances are paid off, and now you don't have that outside expense that you pay for every month.
And guys, I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead.
A better point to that would be the interest rate that you're getting with your mortgage over the next 30 years versus the interest rate that you're getting on your credit cards over the next 30 years. And yes, I did just say over the next 30 years. Open up your credit card statement. They literally have to now show you what your minimum monthly payment looks like over the life of the loan. And typically speaking, that credit card is a 30 to 36 year amortization. You're not paying that thing off with minimum monthly payments.
And usually the interest is 30%.
Exactly. So would you rather pay it down and not have that card, suffocate you for the next 30 years? Or would you just take into a refinance, get yourself a lower monthly payment, and be better off anyway?
For me I like things really simple. So if I have 20 expenses, I got to be really organized and look at everything. I got my house expense, my car lease, and all my other credit cards. But if I refinance everything, pay everything off, and I just have one mortgage, one payment, it's just my house, it's easier for me to track things down. And I think the biggest thing is a lot of people forget credit interest is way higher than your mortgage interest. Your mortgage interest is either going to be from 3 to 4.5%. But credit cards, I see them go for 30%, and that's the standard.
Yeah.
So you don't want to pay that much interest back. I'd rather pay only 5% interest back or 4% interest back.
And the worst part about it is, look, for the most part, the cards are set up on a minimum monthly payment, right? So even if you say, I have that auto drafted from my account, well, that's also a problem, because now the minimum is what you're counting. You're not even sending anything towards that. And if you did send money towards it, you got to send a ton of money to be able to knock them down. And it's why it's a revolving debt. Life happens. Things are gonna break down. Your car might have some issues, and that credit card is meant as an emergency. But let's be honest, today's America, what we count is that extra debt. We all get into it. So this is an easy way to get yourself back on track and protect your family.
And guys, if you think a refinance is gonna make sense for you after this video, please call either Marnel or I. Talk to us about the numbers, talk to us, the main thing is getting the mortgage statement done. We could do a side-by-side analysis, and sometimes people are fortunate enough to even get the whole cake. And what I mean by that is that they could take cash out, keep the same monthly payment or even lower the monthly payment and get a lower rate. It's rare, but I've seen it happen many times.
Right.
Where they get the lower payment, they could take $50,000 out, and they have lower interest, and they're in the better product.
Right.
That could be you guys. So definitely give us a call. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if a refi makes sense for you.
Absolutely. I look forward to speaking to you guys.
Take care.
All right.